welcome to Improv Separately Together. I'm your host, Philip Whiting, and today I have a very special guest from Orlando. Meet him now. His name is Dave!
Oh, hello! I'm a special guest?
You are a special guest. At least to me, you're a special guest.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
It's a pleasure. I was really busy this week, so I had to carve out the time.
I feel even more special that you're here, Dave. Why don't you go ahead and let the audience know a little bit about yourself?
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a good broad question. My name is Dave Russell. I live in Orlando, Florida. I'm originally from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, which is big in the news these days. But I've been in Florida for over 30 years. More than half my life has been in the Florida area. And I am one of the founders of the SAC Comedy Lab, which is probably the most relevant thing to your show here today. So I've been doing improv for that 35 years. I actually go back even farther with this company, SAC. Before we opened the SAC Comedy Lab, we were just SAC Theater Company, which was an improvisational, semi-improvisational, audience participative street theater company. How's that for a title? That's a long business card. And so SAC kind of grew from Renaissance festivals. I wasn't one of the original 4 or 5, but that started at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. And then they grew over several years. After about 4 or 5 years, they were doing a festival in Largo, Florida. And the recruiters from Epcot Center, Walt Disney World, saw them, discovered them, and said, we want you to perform at Epcot Center. And so they did. They performed in the Italy Pavilion at Epcot Center. So this is about 1982. And then about a year later, they expanded operations and actually went into the United Kingdom Pavilion as well. So they had 2 troops going. They had a number of troops doing Renaissance festivals, so they pulled a lot of those people to say, oh, we got to expand our operations in the parks. And then they also needed additional people then, therefore, to do the festivals. So they increased more people. And that's kind of when I came in. So it was about 1983. And I actually did a few of the festival shows, but I started working at Epcot Center. So this is 1983 to 1989. We worked at Epcot doing street theater shows every day, 5 to 10 shows a day in both those pavilions. We also developed a lot of other shows for Disney in Future World and around property. And then they fired us in 1989. We were a contract group, so we were an outside group, our own entity. And every year we'd have to redo the contract, just like actors do every year at Disney. And so there was always that's like, are we going to go another year? Oh, we're going to go another year. And then, oh, we're not going to go another year now. What are we going to do? So this is 89, 90. We had always had the idea of we'd love to open a theater for the public, but it never seemed, it just kind of didn't ever get any legs because we were pretty comfortable at Disney. You know, we had benefits, vacation days, and sick days, and as well as doing great fun work for audiences, easy audiences all the time. So it's like, well, let's open a theater company. Let's open a theater. We'll call it the SAC Comedy Lab because we want to explore and experiment with different forms of comedy and comedy plays, but all with an air of improvisation kind of embedded in them. And so we got introduced to 2 things. We're developing plays improvisationally. So some of the first productions at SAC were scripted plays that were developed by us improvisationally in our rehearsal period. And then we got integrated with the theater sports. And that's probably what people are most familiar with SAC about. Mm-hmm. And that is the kind of the improv competition thing, which we've kind of blossomed and continued to do and kind of morphed a little bit over the years. So we do a lot of the improv there in various forms. It's getting to be some more long form stuff that you'll see at the SAC Comedy Lab, but a lot of that fun, short form, quick, witty kind of comedy. I've been talking a long time and you haven't got a word in, so it's your show.
I'm listening to some of the stuff I didn't know. I mean, I knew
surprise.
I knew the basics of it, but some of the little tidbits I didn't know.
Well, it reminds me, if you or anyone is interested in more of the history of SAC, during the quarantine time, I've actually been doing an online live stream called SAC Backtracks, where every week I delve into some of the rich history of SAC from the 40 plus years that SAC's been in business. And so those are still available through Facebook Live. You can go back and see the replays of some of those things.
Right.
If you're ever interested in digging deeper. One show got all the original 5 members of the original troupe at the Renaissance Festival. They're all in. There's one with Wayne Brady, guests on one of the shows.
I was waiting for the name drop.
Because he was one of the founders of the SAC Comedy Lab.
Right.
And so he was on the show, and we have a lot of connection, which you probably are familiar with as well, with the Comedy Warehouse in Disney World. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those people crossed over. We crossed over there, and they crossed over here. So there's an episode with a lot of them as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And in like the mid 2000s, I'm not sure exactly what year I stepped in and took my first class at SAC.
You don't remember what year it was?
I remember. Well, I had taken level 1, because back then it was just called level 1, and then I had stepped away, and then I came back, and when I came back I went and did them all again, and I know I finished in 2007 October, I think, because I was working Halloween Horror Nights.
Right. So and you can get through the sessions in about a year or 2 years if you kind of take it a little slower. So cool. All right.
Yeah, it was such a long break that John's all like, "Yeah, you should take level 1 again."
Get a refresher.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
So I ended up having Richard for like 3 or 4 different classes, I think.
Wow, we really get to know your instructor that way.
Yep, and now I've had him and Chris come up here to do our festival here. So
it's your festival. That's wonderful. Yes, indeed.
Well, it's not mine, but it's part of the company that I'm with.
Your
Comedy
festival. I didn't mean yours specifically. Yes.
Not me. I don't.
Yeah. I bequeathed it unto you. You could have had it there.
I perform in it, but I don't want Harrison to get mad.
I see. You're protecting your state. Good. All right.
So what I'm doing with this show is I'm meeting up with people. Most of them are improvisers. Some are not improvisers. Just seeing how they did, or how they are still living throughout the possible still quarantine, not quarantine, everything that's going on with the whole virus.
Yep.
That's basically what this show has been evolved and came out of because of the virus when I was stuck at home.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just checking in and doing it that way.
Yeah.
So
SAC has been closed for about 10 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, no shows, no audiences.
I think my last show, I want to say, was like March 11th or something like that.
I think for us as well, yeah.
And before that, my Never Decaf group, we did the Savannah Comedy Festival at the very end of February. So we've been twiddling our thumbs and trying to do things online.
Oh, right.
All right. So let's jump right into these questions. With the whole virus that went and still is going on, what changed in your normal day-to-day process?
Well, obviously a lot changed, just like everybody else. I do a lot of my work from home because we can do it. When you're developing shows and preparing and rehearsing for shows, a lot of that initial production work can happen at home. But I still you got to go into the theater to do a show or to do a rehearsal, and so it's weird not doing any of that anymore. It's weird not connecting with people in physical proximity.
Right.
And that actually quite hard for me, both audiences and people. So we've had to kind of change gears and try to do some of the online stuff, which we've done a lot of online stuff, but not a lot of online shows. As you may or may not have experienced, taking improv on TV is tough unless you have a big name and a big following, like the guys on Netflix. I'm getting the name now. Quidditch. Those two gentlemen. It's like so great to see improv out like that.
Right.
And whose line is it anyway in some of these shows? But when a lot of the theaters are trying to put their shows online, tough translation. It just doesn't translate as well as we want it to.
Right.
And even classes are tough online because improv is so the proximity and working together is such an integral part of the improv and ensemble experience.
Right. I can't think of their names either, but that was pretty good long form that they were doing.
yeah, they're doing a good job. Yeah.
Schwartz and something else. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Schwartz, there you go. Yes, and that's
sorry.
The more famous guy. Yeah.
If you see this, we're sorry.
Fact check.
So we're all home a lot more still, even though things are opening up. We're still home a lot. What do you like about being home so much?
I'm kind of a homebody, so when I'm not on, I really like relaxing and being by myself. It's the introvert extrovert thing. A lot of people, when they see me on stage and will talk to me later, they would be very surprised to find out that I'm not an extrovert. Because when I'm working, performing, which is kind of my vocation and what I do and what I love to do, for some reason I'm extroverted, but I'm not really that way when I'm recharging, when I'm on my own. So I like it. I enjoy being at home. I've been doing a lot more cooking. I got an Instant Pot for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And I never used it until the kind of like the beginning of the year. I finally started using the Instant Pot. And then when the quarantine happened, it's like, oh, now I'm using it a lot more. It's like, hey, food is good at home when you make it. So I've been doing that a lot more. So a lot of things have changed. Obviously, I don't go out a lot when it's not work. Right. So a slight change there for me. But the biggest thing is not being able to be with and around people face to face. I really miss that. Yeah, I go to the grocery store. I'll wear a mask because we have to, but I just don't like it. I don't like not seeing people smile, and I don't like people not seeing me smile, and I don't like that I can smile and make someone smile. I miss that.
Yeah, we had gone to the grocery store Saturday, and I'm leaving, and the one girl's all like, "Have a nice day," and I'm like, she can't see my smile. Hopefully she can see with my eyes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, the eyes do have a little bit of that, but it's just not the same. You can't quite tell, because when I smile, my eyes get squinty.
Yeah.
So I look like, oh no. It could be oh no or hey. That's why the smile is so important.
I agree. You have to get that. The clear ones.
That's a great idea. I'm still working on. I'm sure somebody is making them, but I haven't seen it yet. Where there must be somebody who's putting a photo of your smiley face on your mask.
I've seen them advertised on Facebook or whatnot.
Yeah,
and then I've also seen the clear ones that parents and interpreters are getting for their deaf students.
Yeah, I haven't seen the clear ones. What a great idea! I mean, that makes sense. Are they still are they still like material? What the material? I mean, is it porous? Is it breathable? I mean,
I think like most of it's like the normal ones, but then there's like a square just so you can see the mouth, so they can read your lips if they're a lip reader. Maybe
it's like that stuff they put on the buses where you can't see in, but you can see out.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
No either. Okay, so what do you dislike about being home so much?
Oh, I think I already
you basically answered it, but that's
missing my people.
That's right.
Being able to. I like to hug people, and I'm a contact person, and because I think that a lot of communication and human interaction happens in the contact, and it doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be, super close. But I miss a handshake. I like I like that touching another person's skin and saying, "Hey." I like a touching on the back. I like a patting. I like a hug.
That all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that based? I'm saying is my next question. I think that is your answer to it too, because like, what are you missing the most? People, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
See? So we don't even have to ask that question, even though I
Love and
technically did.
hugs. I miss the love and hugs.
Oh, we should use that as a slogan. Love and hugs.
Love and hugs.
Okay, so now that things are opening up, I think Florida's opened up a lot more than we have. I mean,
Oh, really? Okay.
but we might be pretty much open by now. But I know there's like certain things that aren't, but it's very little now.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
do you
same here.
What do you feel the safest to go do? I guess should be the new question.
The safest to go do. I have to be more open to go and do more things because I want people to come to our theater.
Right.
So I want to say it's okay to go to a theater. I'm curious about what that experience is going to be with a social distancing setup at a theater, because a lot of, especially improv, really thrives on an intimate audience. And this is people sitting in close proximity, once again, where the energy and the interaction of people and the laughing fuels itself. So now we have to, especially at theaters like SAC or in comedy clubs probably have the same thing. It's like you probably expel more droplets when you're laughing and really experiencing something with that kind of joy and jubilation, that we have to be more careful of that. So, like I said, I don't do a lot of things out, so I feel comfortable doing everything I used to do. I'm just going to be more cautious about it.
Right.
And if I go into an area and it doesn't look safe, like I don't think I'd go to a packed beach.
Right.
But I would go to the beach if it seems like people are social distancing. Same thing for a concert or an event. I think I would go, but I will wear my mask, just because we still don't know. There's still a lot of questions about it, and I'm fine to do that. So there's my answer.
All right, I liked it. All right, so I hear you brought a friend with you who agreed to interview also, correct?
I have to go get him. Can I go get him?
Yes.
You
do that. I'll be right here. Well, Dave went to go get his friend. I don't know who the friend is going to be, but as soon as they're back, I'm going to turn around and be like, "Welcome to the show!"
Thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Philip.
Hello, Philip. It's nice to meet you.
And you are?
My name is Michael.
Michael. I like that.
Michael.
Michael.
Yes, I pronounce both the A and the E next to each other. Michael. Michael Purr. That's my name. Michael Purr.
I like it. Did Dave give you a heads up on what we were doing today?
Nobody gives me a heads up on anything. I just go through life and I embrace everything that happens because I know that something good will come of it.
Nice.
Even if it's poo-poo.
Nice.
It will be some of the best poo-poo ever.
Perfect. I'm just going around and asking some questions, see how people have been going through this whole virus that's been going on and how they're doing now.
Going through the virus. I like how you say that. It takes control. It's not the virus going through you.
Exactly.
It's you
going through the virus. Yes. So what has changed in your day-to-day process during this time?
I've changed.
You have changed, okay.
I believe you have changed. We all have changed.
We all have changed.
We have learned what is precious within us. We have learned to protect ourselves. We have learned to protect those around us. And we have learned to care so much for people, except for the people who don't care for people. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. During this I do. I watch TV. And during this whole time, we've been stuck at home a lot more than normal. Is there anything?
Yes, I've been stuck.
Is there anything that you like about being home so much?
There is. I do like about being at home because I know that I will be there probably when the FedEx and UPS drivers come.
Oh, yes, that's always a...
When I'm out working, I never know when they come. I come home and I see that they've been there. But I don't know what they've been doing because I don't have a ring. I don't have a doorbell. with a camera so I can watch them on my phone, which I should get, but I can't afford it from Amazon.com, and it will probably be ordered or delivered by FedEx.
Right.
Won't you find that ironic?
Very, very ironic.
Yes. Thank you for delivering to me the apparatus, the small appliance that I will use to follow you delivering the next thing you deliver to me. I just think there's some kind of simpatico going on in the world today.
I love the way you put that, and you might need to put that on a napkin or something.
I'll put that on the napkin. Yes. I'm going to. Excuse me. And I just put that on the napkin.
Perfect.
Yes. Do you want me to have this delivered to you? I can have it by tomorrow. FedEx can have it to you.
Sure.
Okay, sure. United States Postal Service might take a little longer. Possibly forever if they close. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows? I won't be home, but I do have a ring, so I will be able to watch them deliver it.
Hey, you live my life.
Yes.
You live the life that I wish I lived.
You will be there soon. I feel it.
I feel it too.
What do you dislike about being home so much?
Well, I dislike that I have to communicate with my family so much more. Not that I don't like them. I find that when I talk to someone, it's about 20 seconds, and I've run out of things to say. And so then I'm just standing there staring while they're continuing to communicate, and I'm like this.
I absolutely understand.
I have to catch myself, so every once in a while I'll go like this. But then I back to. So it's a little bit difficult. My family, I have shrouded this for many years, that I am not a very deep person and there's not much substance to me. And now the cat is out of the proverbial bag. Put that in a napkin and deliver it via UPS.
There.
There you go. See, you know what I'm talking about.
I learned that from you.
Yeah.
Okay, out of all the things that are out, what are you missing more than anything?
What do I miss more than anything? I would have to say I miss Crystal Burgers.
Oh, yes.
Some of you might be familiar with the White Castle, which I prefer over the Crystal Burger. But it just doesn't seem like the time where I want to go and buy 10 undersized cheeseburgers that I can eat in a total of 10 minutes, which is about 1 minute per burger. That actually seems like too much time for a Crystal. But then you get the chili cheese pop, and you get one of the fries, not the fries, but the onion petals as well. I don't do that quite as much.
So you got that craving going on then.
I have the Crystal craving.
Ooh, nice. That's a good. We need to get that slogan out of them. Maybe they could use it. Pay you some money.
I'm a Crystal craving kid. No, we don't. No, we don't want that acronym. No, I'm a Crystal lover, a Crystal loving kid. It's not like MLM, multi-level marketing. It's KLK, Crystal loving kid. That's what I am.
Perfect.
I'm like a kid when I'm at Crystal.
And the sad part is that the last two that are around here are gone. So
I know what's happening to them. I got to go and find a White Castle.
So I'm gonna have to go. I have been buying the frozen ones, and they're not as good, but they'll do in a pinch.
You can't do it. You can't do it because when you cook it for the minute, you cook the bun too long.
Yes.
The minute is for the burger.
Yeah.
The little tiny little burger that they think is in there. So what you have to do, you have to take it all apart, and then you take a plate, and then you put the burger on the plate, and you cook that for about 30 seconds. And then you put that on the bun, and then you cook the bun and the burger for about 30 seconds. Because if you cook that bun for 1 minute, it's done for.
Oh.
You don't want that.
I am gonna remember that next time I have them.
This is Crystal etiquette.
White
Castle. We're talking White Castle now.
These are
Crystal,
White Castle.
They're not big enough or important enough to be in our Publix freezer section right now. But the White Castle, you can get White Castle at the 7-Eleven.
Yep. Anywhere. Okay, so
like the 7-Eleven.
Like the 7-Eleven. I think we had them at my work one time in a little kiosk thing that we can buy at the It's not like they had the cafeteria, then they had like frozen food and stuff that we could buy if we wanted to, and they had them in there before.
And you had a White Castle kiosk?
No, it was just a little section, a little shelf that had them on
A
it.
little area.
Yes.
You had a cordoned off area
Just
for your frozen White Castle meals. But that is a company that cares about its employees. I'll tell you that right now.
that is true. Okay, so the very last thing I need to ask you.
Oh, there's more questions.
One more.
Okay, no worries.
Everything is opening back up slowly but surely.
Look at it open. You can feel it.
I feel it. It's in the air. It's definitely in the air.
It's in the air.
What do you feel for yourself is the safest thing to go do?
I think the safest thing to go do right now is to mow your lawn.
Yes.
I have not mown my lawn as long as we've been in quarantine because I'm afraid of the neighbors, but I think it's okay now to mow my lawn. You should see my lawn. I mean, I go out there and I can actually hide in there, which is good because that's what I do when the UPS and the FedEx men come. He goes to the door. I don't have the ring bell. So I spring up behind him and I say, "Surprise! I'm so glad to see you." Scare the crap out of them.
Nice.
Talk about a napkin full of crystal.
Full of crystal.
Yes, use your imagination on that one.
I did. So that's all the questions I have.
Really?
I want to say thank you for
I
coming.
have a question for you.
I will answer it.
How are you?
I am doing well.
No, I mean in your spirit, in your soul. How are you?
Oh, I feel great. I feel great in my spirit, in my soul.
Are you ready?
Are
you ready for life?
I'm ready for
Are you
life.
ready for love?
I definitely have the love already, but I'm ready to do a show. I want to get on stage.
Ah, yes. You want to spread the love.
Yes.
Through your artistry. Well,
yes.
I highly recommend that as well. And I heard you say that you have enough love, and you have all the love you need. You can always use more love.
Always.
2 things in life you can always use more of: love and Crystal Burgers. I thought you would know this by now.
Crystal Burger. I was waiting for you. I thought you were giving a whole speech for everybody watching.
No, just 2 things.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, thank you for coming on the show today. Is there anything
We done?
Well, you are, but is there anything you'd like to say to the audience before you leave?
Yes, I would like to say to you, when you get back out into the world, don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold back. Now is not the time to hold back. I know there are limitations, and so you can't be in somebody's space, and you can't hug them and kiss them and tell them how much you care for them. But you can feel it in your heart. You can show it in your eyes. Let those droplets of love fill the inside of your mask.
Awesome.
Be safe,
Yes.
but don't be sorry.
Right. Be safe, but not sorry. Got it. So thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Philip.
Go ahead and bring Dave back, and I'll finish out the show with him.
Bring Dave back?
Yes, please.
I have to put that shirt back on again?
No.
Okay, excuse me.
You can just come back.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Dave, welcome back.
Thanks. I just took my shirt off. I'll put my shirt back. Okay.
It's really,
wow.
It's really funky the way.
Certainly ruins the magic of that virtual background when you do something like that.
It does, but hey, it was fun. It's almost like we can see right through you.
I pull back the veil. So as you can, I'm not really at the SAC Comedy Lab. Look at that. I'm in my own home with a green screen. But isn't that nice? I was shocked. I've been doing my show, the SAC Backtracks. I've been doing that live from the SAC stage, just so I can actually feel like it's emanating from our core, from SAC.
I think I caught one of the first ones you're doing. I really thought you were there.
Well, I was there for all of the SAC Backtracks. I really am at SAC for those.
Okay, because I would say it looked pretty real, so I guess you were there.
That was real. That's how I get the illusion. You know, I get you knowing something that's real, and then here you're like, "What's wrong at the SAC Comedy Lab? They've started painting everything all lime green in the back."
Oh, that's what it is.
That must be it.
Wasn't real.
I'm trying to interpolate.
Thank you again for coming
I
on
like
the
that
show.
character. I think I should be that character more because now
Oh yeah, he was
I
awesome.
feel more juiced and jazzed.
He was awesome. Keep
Michael Purr. I gotta
keep him right there in that pocket.
perambulate Michael. Yes.
Thank you for coming on the show. Is there anything you would like to say to the people? Give a shout out to anybody. Now would be the time. All of a sudden you can't talk.
The dead space. Well, I just my shout out goes to all. I mean, it goes out to everybody. It goes out to improvisers have really had to learn a new skill and a new craft. So my heart goes out to them. But also, in these times, we just gotta be forthright and upfront and say, my heart goes out to especially people of color, but anybody, any group or any individual who's feeling undervalued, that's a problem. And especially when it's happening, when the stakes are so high and it's happening, in my opinion, to such a large degree, and it's a permeating thing that needs to work on. So my heart goes out to everybody who's working for change, and I'm hoping to do what I can. I have to be honest. I think as far as when people talk about privilege, it's like poster child, old white male.
Right.
So I really have some extra work to do and extra learning to do, but I'm ready to do that.
Right. Me too. So again, thank you again for coming on the show. It was great talking to you again. Let me do this outro and then I'll be right back with you. Hey guys, that is the show for the day. Thank you for watching. Thanks again to Dave for coming on out. Remember, when you are out there and you're in the grocery store or any of those places where those people have worked the whole time, say thank you to them because they deserve that. Give a shout out to all the doctors and everyone else in the healthcare system fighting this thing head on. And remember, stop spreading the hate. Show love to everyone because that's how the world should run. All right. See you guys next week with a new person. All right. Peace.
As you can see, I talk a lot and long.